The West Virginia Mountaineers just won a secret scrimmage as they hosted Maryland at the Hope Coliseum. We're going to talk about what we could find, what we could figure out from that secret scrimmage. We're going to talk about here on episode 51 of Mountaineer Moment. This is the Mountaineer Moment, your source for all things West Virginia football and basketball. From pregame to postgame coverage and breaking news, we've got you covered. Let's go. All right, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling basketball season in Morgantown. Welcome to episode 51 of Mountaineer Moment, where we're talking about the West Virginia basketball team after their secret scrimmage win over Maryland at the Hope Coliseum in Morgantown. We're going to talk about that. And you know what? I mean, honestly, we might as well talk about basketball now because this football team, right, if you follow both programs, most recent 2 episodes talking about the struggles of West Virginia football and another loss on the road to UCF. You can go check out those episodes. But that's all I'm going to say about this football program. It's basketball time. Episode 51, Mountaineer Moment, available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you're at, wherever you're listening. Please consider subscribing to the show because we've got all sorts of content coming at you every single week on Mountaineer Moment. So West Virginia basketball tips off their regular season in 17 days. They're going to host the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers at the Coliseum, but we got a little bit of a glimpse. Right, I wasn't in the building. Not many people were. That's why it's called a secret scrimmage, but we got a little bit of a glimpse into this Mountaineer basketball program under new head coach Ross Hodge, as they finally got a taste of what it's like to play against another team, as Maryland came for a visit. And Coach Hodge, if you watched his press conference, this week talking about all that, there wasn't a whole lot of hype or whatever, like conversation chatter going into a scrimmage, but it's like, all right, it's exciting that we get to play against another team. That's really what he was saying. But West Virginia wins that secret scrimmage by a final score reportedly of 92-73. And we don't have a full box score. We don't have a whole lot. But we're going to talk about what we do have and what that might mean for the West Virginia Mountaineers, as again, tip-off is just 17 days away in the regular season. 3 players, we have stats that I've at least been able to find on 3 Mountaineer transfers that are here now. 1, Honor Huff. Can't mention Honor Huff's name without mentioning the fact that, exactly, he led the nation in 3-point makes a season ago at Chattanooga. And the report out of Morgantown is that he picked up right where he left off. He had 32 points, and he knocked down 10 threes on 18 attempts. 10 threes. He makes 10 threes a game. He's going to be leading the nation once again, but really impressive. He's a 5'10 guard out of Brooklyn, and obviously he's going to be a focal point of the Mountaineer offense. This season averaged about 15 a game at Chattanooga, leading the nation in threes, but now looking to bring his game into Big 12 play and stepping up in that regard. But he's been, vocal as well in press conferences about Coach Ross Hodge and his belief in him. He says, if you can see the rim, you shoot it. And obviously, though we don't have footage of it, Honor Huff saw the rim quite a few times and knocked down some shots in the 92-73 win in that closed-door secret scrimmage. All right. Next person we have a little bit of information on regarding this secret scrimmage is Trayson Eaglestaff, the transfer from North Dakota, who can also fill it up with the best of them in this country. Dropped a 40 ball against Alabama, and then a 50 ball in the conference tournament for him at North Dakota last season. Another guy within the gym range, and apparently he had 22 points against Maryland in that 92-73 victory. That's all we really got on him. But again, he figures to be a major part of the West Virginia offense this season, major part of what they want to do. The last player that we're going to talk about is Jasper Floyd. Jasper, the starting point guard at North Texas last season with Ross Hodge, and Hodge brings both he and Brennan Lorient over to Morgantown, and the true point guard put up 11 points and dished out 9 assists in this one. He's a veteran leader, great experience, winning pedigree, winning in his DNA, and hopefully that's going to translate well in Morgantown. So that's what we got on these three Mountaineers. Honor Huff, 10 threes made, 32 points. Trayson Eaglestaff, 22 points. And then Jasper Floyd, 11 points, 9 assists for the point guard. And 92 points is a lot, obviously, for the Mountaineers. And Ross Hodge, we got, I don't think he's probably too happy about 73 points given up because he was among the nation's leaders in defense a season ago at North Texas. But offensive explosion here for the Mountaineers. Though we don't know a ton about it other than what I just told you. We do know they scored 92 points. We do know they only gave up 73. Sounds good to me, right? But what do we really make of this? And that's where I just want to kind of close out this episode. So I'm going to share what Ross Hodge shared because I thought it was absolutely hilarious in his press conference, leading up to this scrimmage on Saturday. But he provided the media with a really, really funny example of why you can't read too much into these October scrimmages. He said 3 years ago, so while he was at North Texas, this is a quote from him. He said, 3 years ago we scrimmaged Mississippi State. They were good. They were an NCAA tournament team. They had a lot coming back. We tipped in a shot at the buzzer that probably should have counted, but they waved it off, and they don't review it in a scrimmage. We ended up losing by one. Probably should have won by one, but we walked away feeling pretty good. And then he said that when the box score, right, when you read the box score later on, you find out this. He said our starting center, and this was hilarious, he said our starting center had 11 fouls. 11 fouls, which, as he quotes, would have probably drastically changed the outcome of that game. He probably would have fouled out in about the first 4 minutes. And I just love that example, that story, because that just tells the tale of like, all right, well, how much can we really read into this? Because 11 fouls ain't realistic. He would have fouled out twice, right? Pretty crazy. And I think what, Ross Hodge's point there is, in a real game setting, you got to factor in game plan for some of those things, right? He picks up 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes. He might be sitting the whole first half. So I don't know what kind of things happened, obviously, like that, or if anything, in this West Virginia scrimmage against Maryland, or what kind of experiments both teams were having. Maryland coached by Buzz Williams, Ross Hodge here, obviously, in Morgantown. But, I think the proper reaction for us to have is one that's not too high, one that's not too low. I really do. I think, you can't overreact to this 19-point win because we didn't see it. We weren't there. But you can't overreact either to, like, Honor Huff making 10 threes. You can't underreact to that either because, like, that's not – well, I don't think he's going to come out and average 10 threes a game. He's a guy that's capable of knocking them down, right? We know that. So we can't underreact. I want to be careful because there's a proper way to react to this. This is good. This is good news, especially if you follow the football team, right? I mean, my goodness, 92 points. That's more than the football team has in Big 12 play, right? I mean, this is like, it's a good sign. It's good. It's good to win. It's good to score. Do we really know what transpired? No. But we shouldn't underreact to what we know. If the scores were reversed and we lost the game 92-73, I would say the same thing. Don't overreact, but don't underreact to it either, right? Maybe there's some things that we can work on. Not that there's not as you win the game, but like, don't overreact, don't underreact. Hopefully this is something. The goal of a scrimmage is to get ready for the season. Hopefully this is something the Mountaineers can build upon, build confidence, playing against another team, kind of, figure out some lineups, figure out some situations, as Ross Hodge was, saying that was kind of, one of the purposes of this as well, with a whole new look roster. But hopefully this is a team that can compete in the Big 12 and win a lot of games. And if this secret scrimmage, benefits you and puts you on the path to win a lot of games, then I'm all for it. So don't overreact. Don't underreact to this Mountaineer basketball offensive explosion, 92-73 in the secret scrimmage against Maryland. We'll see you next time on Mountaineer Moment.